My name is Greg Jackman and I'm engaged by Austral Tasmania as an archaeologist on the Montpelier project, and I'm standing in the house of William Burge. This is a small brick and stone built cottage constructed around the mid-1860s, we think. It looks like it had about 4 rooms on the ground floor and a couple of attic rooms. Only the footings from the ground floor survive, obviously. What we've been finding here so far is primarily demolition debris from the 1970s. This was the last of the 19th century houses on this allotment to be demolished prior to construction of the car park. So what we're finding so far is primarily related to that demolition period. We've got about 100 years of material all mixed up together within the spaces of the house in the different rooms, which will make it quite difficult to determine activities in each space, given that everything is all blurred up together. But it's still providing an interesting insight into the lifestyles of the various households that have occupied this building over the course of its life, 100 years between the mid-1860s and the early 1970s. We found a range of artefacts relating to the domestic activities that took place in and around the house. A lot of the material has been thrown into the floor spaces during the demolition period, but it certainly gives us an idea of the sorts of things that had accumulated around the house in that 100-year period. We've got artefacts from the late 19th century, bone buttons, clay pipes, glass, and we've got things right up until the 1960s and 1970s. Plastic toys from cereal boxes, modern coins, hair curlers, all the sorts of things that I remember growing up. This is an aerated water bottle for fizzy drinks, also called a cod bottle. This design was patented by Hiram Cod in 1872, and they were very common in Britain and her colonies up until the 1930s. Interestingly, some places still make them. You can buy them in Japan and India. They had an ingenious way of working, also known as marble bottles. They had a small marble in a chamber at the top of the bottle that would push against a rubber ring in the lip under pressure from the contents inside. Very popular with kids. They'd smash them to get the marbles out. And also, it's claimed, gave rise to the term codswallop, being a derisive term used by beer drinkers to describe soft drink, wallop being a British slang term for beer during the early 19th century. Codswallop, not the real thing.